What a great guest I have for you this morning, because I've been gorging on all things Tim Minchin in the last few days, knowing that he's coming in. He's a force of nature, Grammy-nominated comedian, Olivier-winning songwriter, from the smash hit musical Matilda to his widely popular stand-up specials, and a brand new album, Tim Minchin, Time Machine. It's all going on. Tim Minchin, great to see you again.
Hi.
Welcome to the top of the tower.
Being here. This is nice.
It's good vibe.
I have good vibe from this studio because it's always a bit more time to chat and stuff.
And it's, you get a little view of the
You
city.
beautiful view, except I have to look at you while you look at the view.
Who's winning?
I don't mind.
Who's
I don't know.
winning?
I can see it reflected in your eyes.
Do you know what I thought was brilliant that you did? I'm going to flip from, if you don't mind.
Oh man, I'm coming with you.
I loved your Judas in Jesus Christ Superstar.
I love that too.
I think it's one of the best. It's probably the best musical, but also Heaven on Their Minds is probably one of the most.
It's a rocking song.
What a song!
It's a hell of a song, and Lloyd Webber was 19 when he wrote that, and
How?
sort of more extraordinarily, Tim Rice was like 23 or 4. It's such an incredible sort of thesis.
I mean, your skill as a lyricist. We talk about Matilda. We'll talk about that in a second. You must have been, as a kid watching something like that and thinking the lyrics are so smart, and even when it goes into the dum 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 dum,
and then 7/8, out
of nothing, out of something. But you must have been in awe of that. Going, I want to.
Well, I don't think I was aware that I would ever get to do it, and I never. Certainly, when I was young, I wasn't like one day I'm going to be. I just had no aspirations of that level, but I did listen to that a lot. And in Matilda, there's never again will she get the best of me, never again will she take away my freedom. There's a we can SPL how we like it. Enough of us are wrong. It's a 7/8, right?
Yeah.
Nazareth, your famous son should have
stayed a great
time. That's all. Everything is stolen.
Isn't that correct? No, it's not stolen. It's derivative. I think. We were talking about. Well,
it's just learning that you can. It's just permission to 7/8, middle 8.
But we were talking today. So McCartney and George had strong words about Oasis when they started off. Equally, you look at McCartney's "Do" is Little Richard.
Yeah,
come on,
of course.
Everyone's borrowing something from somebody, aren't they?
We're all little. We're a sentence in a story. We're not a novel. Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching your video with your selfie stick going around Leeds. Is it Leeds?
Yeah, Leeds. Yeah.
Tell me about that. What
so this is a song that came out a couple of days, the single that came out with the album a couple of days ago. And it's a funny thing, this album, because a lot of the songs on it have been in the world for years. And, Not Perfect, this song, has been played at the Albert Hall, in the proms. It's opened festivals. It's one of my best known songs. It's the song that the most of my fans have lyrics tattooed on their bodies. It's not perfect, but it's mine. It's a healing song about accepting our imperfections. It's a bit cuter than it sounds pretty daggy.
No.
It's a sweet song. It really is, and it's 22 years old. I wrote it when I was in my late 20s.
Yeah,
but I've got all these songs that I've only ever played live. I'm like an upside down musician. Most musicians put their albums out. They go into the studio, create a bunch of songs, put them out, and then go out and play them because they want the audience to know them. Whereas I've always not wanted the audience to know them. I want them to hear them for the first time live because of how I write songs. They slowly reveal themselves. It's just something to do with how they're storytelling songs, and there's always a bit of a twist in the tale, and they always come together in a sort of like a haiku or something. And I didn't value that early. I'm like, why do I write such weird songs? Why can't I write a pop song? But then I've learned to value it and kind of lean into it. But subsequently, there are songs that have been out in the world for 20 years in live shows and DVDs that have never been studio recorded. So half this record is just finally studio recording, radio. Well, they've all got swear words in them, but radio-friendly versions of these songs. And then the other half are songs that barely anyone's ever heard. Anyway, Not Perfect's well known. Yeah. And my record company's like, we need a music video by this date. And I'm like, music videos, they're just so expensive and no one cares. And I had a day off in Leeds just a few weeks ago, and I just went and got a selfie stick and wandered around Leeds singing my song to myself with an earpiece in.
It's lovely, it works.
And that was it. It was like an hour. I went back and edited it on iMovie, on an app. And I went, how about this? And they all went, it's perfect, because it's about imperfection.
Exactly. I loved it. It's funny, you've got a really interesting relationship with deadlines.
I like deadlines.
Don't you? I mean, they seem to keep you alive. It's like oxygen. You're like, if you don't have a deadline, what did you? Yeah, you said something.
I mean, everyone, even my management, everyone sort of has this mythology that I've got a good work ethic, but I don't. I just scare myself enough.
This is the quote. If I'm not scared, I don't work. Tell me about this fear.
Well, I guess that's an exaggeration. What I mean is, I am probably a procrastinator like everyone. it's hard to sit down and do an 8-hour day when there's writing some creative story or, writing a song if there's not, especially when I've been doing it for so many years.
Yeah.
But I don't like not working. I don't like sitting around. It doesn't make me feel good. I've got, friends who are like, I'm just going to take 6 months off. And I just go, how horrible. That sounds horrible. Like 6 months off doing life? Like what? Sitting? Like watching reality TV? And what do you mean? Like And I know it's a pathology in itself, but I really like being busy. I love my job. And I know that if I don't have a hard deadline, I'll tool around. So I really like deadlines. It's and there's nothing quite as bracing as, like I did earlier this year, say to my management, I'm going to tour in the UK because it's 20 years since my breakout year. I'm going to do a anniversary tour. And they go, fine. And they put it on sale and I sell 100,000 tickets. And I go, I don't have a show, but I don't have a show. And that's a bit too far because I almost broke. But then you're on tour and everything works and you feel like a god and you're like, that's what that deadline gave me.
Isn't that amazing?
So
and the reviews were
it's addictive.
Congratulations on that tour. Are you comfortable?
I don't read reviews.
Do you ever?
I've heard they're good, but
they're really good.
Even as you said, the reviews I have a physical reaction. Like it's super like...
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I haven't resolved that. I've decided I never will, so I just don't read anything. I never read anything written about me. I don't even read comments I'm not on social media anymore. I'm just like, I'll put my stuff into the world can do what they want with it, and I'll go make my next thing and go for a jog.
Probably the most liberating statement I've ever heard.
It's changed my life, yeah. It was really hard to do, but I think I'm there.
And you're missing that bit
I miss it.
What bit
getting
do you
off
miss?
stage. I miss
getting off stage.
Getting off stage and having the extra dose of love, which is stupid. Yeah. Like, what's wrong with the standing ovation? Like, come on, mate.
Yeah.
You've done the show. They've clapped you. Yeah. Go have a drink. Talk to your friends.
Yeah.
Like,
gravy on gravy doesn't.
It's a hat on a hat. Yeah. So it's really helpful. But this is very rarefied conversation. Like, I don't know whether your listeners care about what someone like me. But I do think it's a conversation worth having in a more general sense. Like, what do we need? Why can't we sit on the loo without getting a few dopamine hits? It really is the poison of our time that we're just starting to realise is poison.
We could do an hour on that, but I love it.
Guys our age talking about this is thank God, another couple of 50-year-old blokes are talking about social media being bad. That's what I needed this morning. Thank you, Virgin Radio UK.
Let's take a musical break and talk. How long did it take you to write Matilda? How many weeks did you?
The first 10 songs were written in 6 weeks. I go hard when I go.
Okay, well, now I feel completely inadequate.
I should hope so. That's what I'm aiming for.
So You Don't Have to Have a Dream is it's a compilation of the 3 speeches you gave before 3 different honorary doctorates you received along the way. And this is a beautiful book that, as if you talk about teachers and you admire teachers, and I'd share that with you. And it's so much so that I'd say this book should sit in every school library.
I expressed my admiration for teachers in the hope that I'd sell lots of copies to school.
To school libraries. Government bulk purchases of your book.
Bulk purchase of government, taxpayers' dollars going into my private coffers.
What I liked about this is there's so much to talk about here, but that of all the things you've done, your son, when he was 15, turned around and said, "This is good." Out of everything.
He got it. He got it. It was interesting. I didn't think it would be for kids that age, but he really, he got it. I mean, it's sort of gentle, and I cringe if it, I've seen it in a bookshop under self-help or something. I'm like, nah, it's not that. I don't think it's that, but it does seem to really appeal to people kind of on that cusp of like finishing school, finishing uni, and this pervasive feeling that they have to have a big goal and that they have to compete with all the virtuosos and all the big successful people, and that, you have a dream. And the book's called You Don't Have to Have a Dream because it's just terribly toxic, that idea that you should have some big dream when you're 20, 21. I don't think you should ever need a dream. I think you just need to crack on and try and find out where you can contribute. I know that's easy for me to say because I've had this sort of incredibly lucky career.
But you cracked on until you did get that.
Yeah, I was 30 before anyone really listened or before I got any sort of payday. And I wrote a lot. And so that's me in hindsight sort of going, what did I do? Well, all I did is I just put my head down and really got into what I was doing. And the rest unfolded. Yeah. It won't work for everyone, but that's all the advice I have.
You said that when you were addressing the acting side of things, that lovely speech poem, and you said, subsequently you're a bit snarky when you wrote that? You were a bit cynical maybe about that world, and that you hope you didn't kind of
put anyone off.
Right.
Well, you want to be an antidote to popular myths about achievement and fame. I really want to say to young artists, you think you want to be famous, and it's just the wrong goal. And it's ridiculous coming from someone like me, because I got all the benefits of it. But it's just, I never had that as a goal, mind you. But it's very hard to say to young kids with stars in their eyes, nearly none of you will get Hollywood famous. That's a dampener straight away.
Yeah.
And nor should you, because you as actors can contribute in all sorts of ways, whether it be, local theatre or whatever, or becoming a teacher, or being a motivational speaker, or whatever it is you end up doing will be fine. Don't think that will be a failure. And that's a very hard message to get across. It's true, but a bit dampening, Yeah, so I hope I got the balance.
No,
right.
you did. I think you did. And you talk about be a teacher. You also lovely things like respect people with less power than you. That jumped out at me. I thought it was really it's the kind of lesson you hope your parents would tell you early.
It feels intuitive. Surely most people understand intuitively, even if it's just selfish, just to make yourself feel not like an ass, to that if someone's working for $10 an hour or whatever, you don't stomp on them. But it seems like you have to say it.
Yeah, well, you made a very good point. You said if you're going to work with people that you like, you'll judge them by how they treat the waiter.
Yeah, well, that's the bit in my speech. I say in the speech I've made big decisions. I have made a particularly big decision about a producer that I went and had a meeting. I thought, this is the person. And then I just watched how they treat. They weren't particularly rude. They were just like sneering and dismissive and grumpy. And I thought, oh, well, that's a really easy decision for me now, because that person would surely treat me like that in the wrong situation, and my crew, and who the... as a person who sings on stage in front of many, many people, the one you want to shout at, that if you are not on top of it, is your monitor engineer, because they control what you hear, and it can be unbelievably stressful to be in front of 5,000 people and not be able to hear your own voice or whatever. But for me, the idea that I would ever shout at my monitor engineer is that would just be... I would never forgive myself, because as if he's deliberately not but I've seen it all the time. In my world, it's the monitor engineer. If you ever shout at the monitor engineer, you have failed.
Yes. Are we okay there in there? You're happy enough, yeah? Just checking with the
you guys. I can't hear anything. You imbeciles.
You can't hear a thing.
Why? They're not just incompetent. They're plain looking, and that's the bit I don't forgive.
All right. Div says, listening to you talking to Tim Minchin, who was pure genius. We saw him in Manchester a few weeks ago whilst walking my dog in the sunshine. Monday mornings don't get much better. So that's just somebody listening in.
He saw you in Manchester. Walking his dog?
He's walking his dog. There was a comma missing there. You didn't hear it?
I see.
And Helen says, I'm thrilled you're chatting with Tim Minchin. What a rare talent he really is. I remember the first time I heard that they were going to make a musical of Matilda, and I was horrified. But then they said Tim was doing it. Not only was it a great relief, there was lots of excitement because I knew that Tim really gets it. I'm thrilled for his success. I'm happy for him. That sounds like somebody who almost related to you. I'm delighted for young.
My aunt. Yeah, no, that's lovely.
Another quote I want to just mention before we head for the hills is be pro stuff, not just anti stuff.
Yeah.
And
that's note to self.
Tell me about that. Note to self.
Well, so much of advice is a note to self, right? I mean,
sure.
Even when you're parenting, you find yourself saying things that you're trying to still teach yourself, I mean, with social media and stuff with your kids, you're like, kids, get off the phone. It's going to make you feel bad. And what you're saying is, I can't get off my phone. I feel bad. And I don't want that for you. And in my book, all this advice, top-down advice, really what I'm saying is this is what I have to work on myself. Yes. And I offer it to you as a lesson 20 years hence, because maybe I can save you some time. But the be pro stuff, not anti stuff. I mean, is there anything more seductive in our current world than just attaching your identity to what you don't like?
Yes.
Bands, I don't like this, I don't like that, or I'm angry at these people, or I hate, white women, or I hate whatever, immigrants. So just your whole identity is built around stuff that concerns you, because the algorithms we feed off are outrage. They try to make you feel like that. And the act of going, I am going to define myself by what I love, which is the lesson. Define yourself by what you love. Yeah. I am going to say, I'm into this, that, and the other, and you said before we came on air, what was it?
Err on the side of joy.
Err on the side of joy.
Yeah, it's a philosophy.
It's so trite. But it's so true. Yeah. The best thing you can do for your own mental health is try and find what is positive in your life and define yourself as a person who loves stuff. And then, of course, it's part of human nature and part of loving to be anti-stuff, because anything that gets in the way of what you think is beautiful or justice will irritate you. That is human, but just don't let that be you.
All-consuming.
The core of you. Yeah, and getting off social media is unfortunately the quickest way to some hope of defining yourself by what you love.
Love that. 2 50-year-old lads chatting away about young people today.
The kids these days, they just don't consume media correctly. They should just listen to me.
Tim Minchin, Time Machine is out now. Matilda the musical at the Cambridge Theatre. What a piece of work
Matilda's touring as well. I really want to say that because Matilda's about to go on its second UK tour, and we as the creatives love that because we know how many people can't afford to come to London
and get a chance to see it.
So a really amazing touring production. Like, it's as good as what goes on in the West End, but it's going to be all through the regions.
Love it. MatildaTheMusical.com. Tim, what a pleasure. Let's do it again sometime.
Yes, please.
Really enjoy that. Tim Minchin.
Cheers.